Okay, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Kadash. Want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakadash. This is just an update, a news update. So this is digital identity in Australia. So there's a digital ID, which I got another website I'm about to go to here in a minute. But this is crazy, man. This is on Wikipedia. So this is on Wikipedia now. I was scrolling through. I think it was World Star Hip Hop, and I'm just scrolling through watching videos, kind of just to see what's going on in the world. And then I see that it's saying something. It said the Holy Grail. That's what caught my attention. And then it said that Australia is implementing a digital ID. So let's see what it is. It says digital identity in Australia. It says digital identity is used in Australia by residents to validate who they are over digital media such as over the internet, right? So we talk about things like, oh, that's just Metro. When we talk about things like the internet of all things, everything being hooked up to the internet, that's pretty much what that means, right? You have to understand how the system works, right? So you have to understand when we say the MOTB is the chip, right? With just a chip, you can do nothing. But with that chip, you have to have internet. That's what makes it work. So it's different pieces that go together to make up this whole new world order and this new system that they're trying to implement. And you see them doing it little by little, like now Australia, right? So it's not just the chip, but you also got to have the internet to go with it. And then with the internet, you can't just have digital dollars or digital coins without the internet. It'd be no such thing. So it's all really going into the internet. And then when you want to get deeper into the www dot, which is really code for 666, if you want to get deeper, then you can, right? But we know that this is all going back to the Edomites trying to build their kingdom. And what they're trying to do is use technology and merge humans with technology. So it's not just, okay, where you got a chip in your phone and you use that, even though they're doing that right now. But we know through the spirit, and we're prophesying that it's going to advance to a chip inside of you, right? So what they're doing is they're implementing, they're merging humans with technology, and they want to do it not only for just to control everybody, but for themselves, to give themselves God-like power. So the things that's promised to the Israelites in the Bible being changed in the twinkling of an eye to those different bodies, right? They want to create that for themselves. Being able to live forever, like it says, they want to create that for themselves. The kingdom of heaven, they want to create that on earth for themselves, because you got to remember that was the blessing that was gave to Jacob, and Esau sold his birthright. So what he's trying to do is get his birthright back and create heaven on earth. That's why you go around the world, all nations are trying to do it. The other nations they want the promise of the Israelites. So when they teach what all nations could be saved, because they want to include themselves in a promise that was only given to the Israelites. So when you go to like Saudi Arabia, they're built, when you go over there, they call it the kingdom. That's literally what the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, right? So they're all trying to build the kingdom of heaven, even though they can't. But from a human standpoint, they're doing some great, marvelous things in marvelous cities, right? Just like with Saudi Arabia and Dubai, that's a marvelous city. That's one of the greatest cities that we done seen. That, and then if you go fuck with the Moabites and Ammonites, they got Tokyo and then different places in China with gigantic cities, right? And so my point in saying that is to say, if they're able to build cities that look so beautiful, I mean, would I be lying if I said that, okay, New York City, like as far as the sky zone, it looks beautiful. That's not wicked. That's not a bad thing to say. It does look beautiful, right? It looks marvelous. That's why Mystery Babylon is called, even in the Bible, the Lord's words. He don't just say, well, he don't just shit on it, just like, oh, it's this bullshit, crappy Mystery Babylon. No, he says it's the great city, the city of gold. So it is a great city, and it is a very, good looking, whatever, appealing city, right? But my point is saying that if they're able to build that, imagine what the kingdom, we can't even imagine what the kingdom's gonna be like. If Saudi Arabia is able to build artificial islands in the shape of Earth or Palms Islands, right? And people could go buy those islands and build on them. Imagine what we're gonna have in our kingdom, you know. But that's another story, though, right? So this is digital identity, right? So where the Lord could give us this power through spirit, right? Esau is carnal, so he has to make this type of power carnally. So in the kingdom, we may be able to speak to each other without even talking. But Esau, he can't do that without he has to carnally do it. So you have to understand how things work, you know. So Esau has to create devices and technology to be able to do that. The chariots could move, they could come, they could appear, disappear, they could move fast because Esau don't understand that those chariots have are being controlled with that spiritual power, man. Right? You have to read what's that damn, what's that? It's going off the top of my head. Chapter 1 of Ezekiel chapter 1. Yeah, to understand how it said when the angel moves, the chariot moves, pretty much roughly paraphrasing, right? But Esau has to do it in a carnal way. So for him to speak, for two people to make two people speak to each other, since he has to do it in a carnal way. So he comes with what? He comes with chips. Put one in your head, put one in your head. Now y'all could probably talk and interact without even actually speaking to each other. So he's just trying to recreate and do everything the Lord promised to the Israelites, but he's doing it in a carnal way. So let's keep going. It says, while many organizations use their own mechanisms, and that's what I'm saying. You have to understand the mechanisms behind things. The mechanisms behind the way the Lord does things, we can't understand. It says increasingly um, aggregated digital identities are in use. So this already is happening. Many Australian organizations leverage popular ubiquitous internet identities such as those provided by social login services and Facebook, Google, Twitter, you know, all that type of stuff, right? So this is something that's already being used. Now let me go back one. Boom. Okay, so when I go back, now this is the actual website right here. It's different websites, but they all say the same thing. It's Digital Transformation Agency, right? Australian Post Digital ID, right? Now watch this. Right, and this is what I could download it and everything, right? So it says fast, easy, and secure digital identity solution. So the point is, it's like when we saying that the MOTB is going to be the chip, which is going to be hooked up to the internet, which is digital. You're going to have digital currency in order to buy or sell, like it says in Revelation 13. And you're going to be able to use that with a device. And that device is going to be the chip, right? Don't look at us like we're bugged out for saying that. You could clearly see, anybody with a mind could clearly see where the world is heading to. It's heading to this digital world, man. Just like when they went from gold and silver, at that time, everybody could clearly see, hey, they're going to come with this new paper, these paper notes that they're giving out. Because remember, the paper note, the money, the fiat currency, you were able to go trade that in for your gold or your silver. Now you can't. So it's clear as day. Now you go to any country and they all have fiat currency. They have paper currency. But now it's a new thing. Now we could clearly see, okay, the next thing is digital currencies. That's what it's about, man. But you need devices in order to use these digital currencies. You can have as much Bitcoin as you want, but you still need a device like a bank or like an ATM or like a phone to be able to use it. Which all those things I named have chips in them. You see, so when they get even more advanced, now the C-hip is going to be inside of you. You see what I'm saying? It's just like with the iPhone 1 compared to the iPhone they got now. It's a big difference. They upgraded over time, right? So it says trusted reputation. Simple setup. See, that's how they do it. They make it seem like it's just so easy and it's going to be so good for your life. That's how they get you. That's the temptation, right? It says top grade digital security. You be like, man, look, this going to make my life so much easier because it's so secure. You know what I mean? Like I lose money all the time or whatever, or people steal money out of people from people and stuff like that. It's just so much easier just to use this, and it's so much secure. You see? It says omni-channel solutions, conveniency, and reusable. See, they make it very convenient, right? This is gonna be very convenient, and this is just the apps right now. But eventually, we telling you it's gonna be the C hip, and it's gonna be even more convenient. Matter of fact, let me read this in Matthew 26 real quick. Um, Verse 41. Watch and pray. See, so we're watching and we're warning, or because what is a watchman supposed to do? Warn our people. We're watching and we're warning our people of what's coming. See, me running by this information was me watching. And then I seen it. I said, "Oh shit!" I did a little research, went to these different websites, and then I said, "Look, let me warn my people of what I see. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing." So you gotta pray that you don't enter into temptation, because all this stuff, if you start getting it now, even though it's an app on the phone, it's gonna lead you up to the MOTB, right? It's gonna lead you up to taking a C hip, because you already, what they're doing is they're conditioning you little by little until they could just finally come out and give you the C hip, and then you're not going to resist it. But it says, yeah, your spirit indeed is willing. Your spirit, especially if you're a man in the truth right now, your spirit saying, man, I ain't going to take that. Hell no, I'm going to stand for the Lord. I'm on the Lord's side. But the flesh is weak. So when things start happening, or you can't buy or sell unless you have this a part of this digital system and have the C hip, because that's where they're going to, and it's clear as day that's where they're going to. Your flesh gonna get weak when you're tired, when you're dehydrated, when you're hungry, when you need certain things, when you lose your lifestyle because you refuse to take it. Just like doing 2020 and 2019, 2021, you know what happened in the world. I don't have to say it, right? Um, a lot of brothers was standing strong saying they wasn't going to take the jab, right? And then what happened? You seen brothers start folding, saying, man, look, my job is requiring me. They saying I have to take it or they going to fire me. You see, so brothers stand strong at first, but then they get weak over time and then they give up, right? Let's keep going. Local Australian support. Personal. It says prove who you are anywhere. Digital ID is accepted, and that's going to grow even further to other countries, especially Mystery Babylon. Anytime the digital ID app puts you back in control of your personal details you share when proving your identity online and in person. They got business. It makes it easier to do business. Look at this, man. DocuSign is in bed with them. AEC, AirTasker, this is the website. Let me go back. Let me see what else. I want to see if I could get some news on it. Now look at this. This was 6 days ago. So we already talking about Australia. Australia, they're already using it. Now this was 6 days ago. I just ran into this. You're walking with me as we do this research together, right? Digital ID. U.S. government poised for national rollout. What did we say? We said this is coming to Mystery Babylon. While Australia finds its North Star to harmonize standards. So Australia is they already using it, but they're building a foundation for it. They're already using it, but they're building it up stronger. They're making it better, making it, figuring out the kinks in it. While US is gearing up for a national rollout. Waiting till that happen. Right? It says the US federal government login.gov digital identity service could be expanded nationally according to the terms of a draft executive order, while the Australian government has set out plans to join up the nation's fragment ID system. So just like I was on those apps pretty much on the last page, and it was showing me different ones. Australia digital, then it had another one digital. They trying to put it all together, and then they saying the U.S. Mystery Babylon is coming with a rollout here pretty soon. It says the draft U.S. White House order obtained a federal technology title FCW, tasked the General Service Administration (GSA) with scaling up it's login.gov. That login.gov is where you gotta go to do like all your like DMV, anything with the IRS. I've been to that website before, right? It says identity and now identity verifications and authentication services, right? Which enable users to access numerous government services using a simple login, increasing its reach to the whole country, right? Let's see. Under the order, which cannot become policy until it's signed by President Joe Biden, he's control, and has yet to be released by the White House, users of public benefits programs will be given the option to use login.gov or a digital ID platform run by the individuals. Hey, what have we been saying, man? We've been saying who they're gonna come through first, the poor, because it says it in the Bible. Psalms chapter 10. His eyes are set against the poor, right? So that's who he's going to attack first, because you need the government. Why is all these things happening? All these disasters and stuff, that false flag attacks and stuff, because they want the people to be dependent on the government. And once the people are dependent on the government, now you need the government. Now they could control you. So if you're on benefits like food stamps, guess what? We already said this, man. It's going to come. They're trying to do it in a strategic way. So that's why they're kicking the can down the street. But it's going to come. If you on food stamps, they're going to say, hey, you have to be a part of this new digital identification platform. Our whole thing now is digital. So when you go in there to try to get your food stamps to buy your food, they're going to say, you got to sign up to this. It's digital now. You can't come in here. You have to go digital, and it's all going to be digital using this, like it says right here, digital ID platform. You see, and then eventually down the road, what is it going to be? It's going to be, hey, we're not giving out cards anymore, because people with food stamps, they have cards, they like little credit cards, and they go to the grocery store, they pay with groceries, and they swipe that food stamp card, the little credit card looking thing. Then they're going to say, look, we're not putting the money on the credit cards no more. Now we're putting it on the C-HIP. So you have to get a C-HIP, and then that's where your food stamp money would be loaded to. You see how it works? That's what it's coming to, man. So this is just a little update on it, like it said in Matthew 26, verse 41. Watch and pray so that you could escape this temptation, man. The spirit is indeed willing, but you got to remember the flesh is weak. You know what I mean? I give you one more to go with. One more, pretty much saying the same thing in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? In those prayers, like it said in Matthew 26, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So the Lord going to keep thee from this. It says, which shall come upon all the world. So it's not just something that's happening in Mystery Babylon. It's happening in Australia. It's happening in Europe. It's happening in, they're going to bring it out in Africa. It's happening in China. See, they said China already had this system. You see what I'm saying? It says, and try them that dwell upon the earth. So the whole earth is going to be introduced to this new technology and this new system, this digital system, and the MOTB, the C-HIP. And that's the temptation part. But the elect is not going to take it. With that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.